English class in high school?
Not really. I mean, it's not like it's hard because it's your own language and just learning the grammar of your own language, but I didn't enjoy it. It definitely wasn't one of my favorite subjects at all.
Yeah, same. It might be my least favorite of the main four.
Yeah. No. Math.
Math, okay.
Fuck math.
Math sucks, but also it's like, it's
not-
rewarding whenever you get the solution. You get it right. Whereas English, at least at the high school level, it just feels like monotony that you have to read and you have to write.
I suppose, but also at the same time, math isn't important after like 8th grade. I stick by that statement.
Yeah, you're right. As long as you're not an engineer or some shit.
Yeah,
you're fine.
yeah.
Anyway, dude, I was thinking about English class, and I wasn't really thinking about English class, but English in general, and
Like the actual language?
yeah,
Okay.
and some of the great writers throughout history,
Ooh.
and just a classic line, man. To be or not to be, that is the question.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, to be or not to be. We do to be.
Yeah, we to be.
We to be. We to be dooby dooby. We're totally tubular.
To be dooby doo. I live with you. Time to make a podcast. Okay.
You can hold a tune.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, no problem. So what are you trying to like cover with this? I know this is like the question. It's
Yeah, it's a super existential question. Maybe we should discuss what does that question mean first off, and then we can diagnose from there. Because my interpretation of to be or not to be, and I think that was in Romeo and Juliet, right? That's where that line was written. It's a Shakespeare line.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought that was a philosopher question.
I'm pretty sure it's a Shakespeare line.
This might be something we actually need to look up online.
Yeah, we should. You want to Google it real quick?
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea. I'm pretty sure Romeo and Juliet, like, when one of them dies, hashtag spoilers, I'm pretty sure that line's brought up.
Are you sure you're not thinking about Oh Romeo, Oh Romeo?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I type in to be or not to be, and Google's like, you want to go to Tokyo Grill? I mean, I would like some Tokyo Grill.
That's the answer. We chose to be because of Tokyo Grill.
Yeah, no shit, you're right. To be or not to be is the opening phrase of a soliloquy given by Hamlet in the so-called noonery scene.
So it's Hamlet, but it's
yeah,
Shakespeare.
it's Shakespeare's play, Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Okay, so do you want me to continue what the Wikipedia says, or because it kind of tells like
Does it give the context of?
yeah, essentially.
Okay, yeah. Let's go for it.
Okay. So it says, in the speech, Hamlet contemplates death and suicide, bemoaning the pain and unfairness of life, but acknowledging that the alternative might be worse.
Okay, so it was pretty much in alignment with what I thought the question was about. Like, would you rather exist or not exist?
Yeah, that's... Well,
And I guess the question brings down to, like, suicide, right?
I was thinking it in a slightly different term, in, like, to be or not to be in the sense that, do we exist?
Oh, wow, that's a whole different question.
Yeah, that's what... Because that's why I thought it was a philosopher question. I thought that's what the whole point of it was. It's like, to be or not to be is, like, to think or whatever. And if you don't... I don't know. Or is that a different one? Am I mixing up my quotes?
There's a quote by
I think therefore I am.
I think therefore I am.
That's what
by
I'm thinking of.
Descartes, I believe. Rene.
That's a philosopher.
Yes.
Okay. To be or not to be. God damn, William Shakespeare.
Hardcore, man.
Yeah.
He was punk rock.
Do you take a little sidetrack? Do you think there's anybody more important of literature than William Shakespeare, and at least for the modern era of human history?
He's certainly the biggest name, right? Like, he's the Einstein of that field that everybody thinks about when they think of
Well, yeah, I'm
classic
not just talking
writing.
about in his name. I'm talking about, but like based off his actual work.
Yeah, I think so. Right?
I don't know. I'm asking. What do you think? Do you think he is?
I would say so. I mean, everybody has to learn his plays and his writing still to this day within their coursework as a foundation. I don't really know the history of writing and like how it transpired. I assume that what he wrote greatly influenced literature at that time, and then as it it's probably a turning point in literature, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd assume.
I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to be or not to be, that's yeah. Now knowing what the context is, that actually makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it's like in a way contemplating suicide. Like, would I rather be here or not be here and take my chances and whatever comes next type thing.
Right, and it's kind of on the context specifically with human suffering. Like it's to be a human or not to be a human.
Yeah, you can't put to be or not to be for anything else. It wouldn't work.
Yeah, because if you take human suffering out of the equation, you would assume it would be to be, right? Like you'd want to exist.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if there's no suffering, why would I want to end it?
unless you're like jeez. Imagine me the guy who clicks not to be with zero suffering. That's wild.
But no, to be in the concept of are we real is interesting because that kind of flips it on a head a little bit. Like, instead of it just being like, do I want to be here? Do I not want to be here? It's like, am I even here to begin with?
Yeah.
That's heavy-handed.
Yeah. It's like an age-old kind of stoner question that comes back around, like, are we here or are we not? And it's like we're here, but what qualifies as being here?
What do we actually constitute as our surroundings? What do we actually know to be our surroundings? This could be all artificial or it could just be all in our heads.
Yeah.
Could be reflections of a different dimension or a different plane of existence that we're experiencing. Ooh, how crazy would that be? You just come to a realization that everything we're actually seeing is just like a shift of a dimensional plane, and the actual Earth is like horrifyingly scary.
Oh man.
Oh, what if that is actually like something our brains are doing? So like, you know how like you can bite your finger off? Like it's very easy to actually bite your finger off, but your brain's like, hey, dumbass, don't do that. You're going to lose a finger.
Right.
So what if this world is like legitimately just like volcanic ash type shit, but it's so bad our brains are like, nah, this is okay, and it conjures up this world of green and lush.
Oh
and
my god. Dude.
That's
wow. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy idea. I mean, it's true to an extent. That's part of psychological survival. Like your brain will, like you'll slightly alter things perceptually, be in alignment with what's best for you. Mm. But if it's to the extent where it like phases your
like the entire
your perception of reality, like we're actually POWs like in a camp right now, suffering.
Like that's an aspect of it. Like, how do you not know you're insane and actually in an asylum right now?
You don't.
And it's the same concept. Like you don't know where you actually are. You don't know where you are. You don't know what you are. To be or not to be, motherfucker.
Dude, you're answering this question so well. Like, I'm having a hard time just like...
This is your question.
Yeah. This is okay. Hamlet's question, bro.
This is true.
This is a question for the times. So... Dude, I'm like kind of checking myself, like, am I in a white jacket? Am I actually in this room?
Can I move my arms freely?
No.
You just start, like, smelling like banana nut bread out of nowhere, and you're like, this isn't right. This isn't right.
You actually wake up and you're like at grandma's house cooking the banana nut bread.
This has all been a horrible dream.
Yeah. So, to be or not to be, so obviously we're being. But if you had to choose knowing the human condition and suffering, would you choose to live it or not live it?
So you're saying like, as I am being born, I got a guy who kind of pulls me aside and is like, oh, this is what your human life is going to be about. Like, do you want to do it or do you not want to do it?
You know the general risks and rewards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like your every detail of your life, but you know that
like you're gonna age, you're gonna change.
These are your chances here and here. Like you're being born here in this time area, so these are your chances of being successful and surviving.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And also like just the human condition of like aging, dying, disease.
Yeah.
Everybody else around you doing the same thing. You're gonna have to work. But at the same time, it's like you get to learn, you get to go play, you can go love. Like there's the polarity.
I'd choose to be. I'd choose to be.
Yeah.
If I had the choice to be, I would to be.
Yeah, I agree. I would choose.
I would take my chances. I mean, I have to take my chances. I don't have a choice now, but
yeah, we chose to be. I don't know if we.
No, we did not choose to be. I know I did not have a say so. I didn't sign a goddamn contract.
Whenever you die, God's gonna show you the contract. Remember that episode on questions? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of difficult because we have the context of living up to this point. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going in and you have no context of what it means to be a human, it's. I guess
Dude,
that's a
imagine
different
asking a
question.
child this question. You'd
Oh.
blow their tiny little brain.
Yeah, that would be not good. Imagine a child saying not to be. You would think every child, unless they have like
If you
a
actually,
really traumatic childhood and like have like a real surreal view of things,
yeah,
you would think all of them would say to be, right?
if I, oh yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that kid. If a kid tells me he does not want to be, I'd be like, all right, buddy, let's go play some video games. Come on, you want some ice cream?
Let's go get you a distraction.
Yeah,
Let's start you up in early addiction. Damn, that's dark. But yeah, I would choose to be.
yeah.
Might as well.
It's a good life. You gotta. Everybody's got a chance to be successful.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. It's not like it's gonna happen to the populace, but if you got to look at yourself as an individual, everybody gets lucky every now and again. Everybody can have that chance of success and survival in a better environment that you were born in.
Yeah, and I think that's rewarding. That's like there's probably something immensely rewarding going into the human condition and making the best out of it and creating a situation that's better than whenever you came in, right?
Yeah, starting from the bottom, now we're at the top.
Yeah.
That's the number one. Like that's got to be the greatest feeling on earth.
So do you think capitalism is something that it's something that we obviously created as a society structure, but do you think that's something that's an innate quality of reality? Whenever you're born, you're trying to make a situation better, and that level of achievement and accomplishment is something that's a part of reality opposed to something that we constructed?
So you're basically saying is like capitalism almost innate in human nature in a way?
Like, the essence of capitalism is innate within nature.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. I think it is. Now, obviously, you want to help. I mean, to be a good person means to help, in my eyes.
Yeah.
So if you're a good person, you're going to help. But also at the same time, every human being on this planet wants to better themselves.
Let's hope.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
even if you don't have the actual drive to do it, subconsciously you want to better yourself.
Yeah.
That is a subconscious feeling that every human being will experience.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yes, I think it is like an innate, almost nature thing for capitalism, because that's the point of capitalism, is using the system to make you better. And so that's what you want to do with your life to begin with.
Yeah. And yeah, you're bringing up a really good point. It goes all the way back to just the plain pain versus pleasure drive, that fundamental, like, from a behavioral perspective, that underlies everything. It's like you always want to go to as much pleasure as you can in your life and eliminate as much pain. Effectively, capitalism is what's trying to allow that.
Yeah, I think that's why it works.
Yeah. Well, it's to be or not to be.
To be or not to be.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably we still don't have a clock. We really need to get a clock in here so we can kind of keep track of our times. But I think you blew my mind with this one. I was not expecting to be or not to be, because I had actually thought about that, and I was like, oh, to be or not to be would be such a great question for like the very first episode, because that's like the question. But it's been a couple episodes now and no one's presented it, so I wasn't expecting it.
No, dude, I was trying to get you. You'd be on solid footing if I brought it to the first question, but I want you to be a little bit wobbly, so whenever it hits, kind of hits
You've
sideways.
been hitting me with them rights all night long, so I put it up, and then you boom, got me with the left.
Gotta watch out for the left, dude. Gotta watch out for the left.
Yeah. So, everybody at home, listening, watching, enjoying, to be or not to be.
Yeah, leave the comments to be or not to be.